This is Valley News Live at 10.
Those were the sights and sounds today at the Far Throw Fargo Axe Throwing Tournament today, as everyone took a moment to remember fallen officer Jake Willeen. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Reed Gregory.
And I'm Zoe Jones. The tournament has been taking place for days and today was the finale. United States Axe was the host of the second annual Far Throw tournament. The tournament took place at the Fargo Billiards and Gastro Pub.
Now, many are still remembering the tragedy that took place July 14th that not only claimed the life of Officer Jake Willeen, but also injured officers Andrew Dotis and Tyler Hawes, as well as bystander Carly Coswick. Now, Coswick works for United States Axe as a coach, and her fellow co-workers say the event was a great way to show their support to her and all the others involved.
I talked to her father, blown away with how nice everybody is here, and it's just been amazing, and I'm really proud of the place I grew up, showing so much love for something that was so tragic and just horrific.
The organizers decided that the funds from the tournament will go towards all those who were affected from that day. The tournament also had vendors set up and shirts for sale. More information on the event can be found on our website at valleynewslive.com.
Now let's check in with First Alert Storm Team's Shelby Ebertowski for a look at our forecast. Shelby?
Well, Zoe and Reed, today was a warmer day compared to yesterday, but it still was on the cooler side right now here in Fargo. We're just enjoying that beautiful sunset and those temperatures finally dipping into the 60s at 65 degrees with those winds relatively calm out of the east at 3 miles an hour. Now, for everyone else, we're starting to see those temperatures already dip into those 60s, 64 up in Halleck, 61 up in Roseau, and we're still seeing some warmer temperatures out in central part of North Dakota with Minot at 72 and Bismarck still at 71. Now, we're still tracking a significant temperature change for most of us in the valley. Everyone is a few degrees warmer than they were 24 hours ago. Here in Fargo, we are 6 degrees warmer, Halleck 5, and even Jamestown 5 degrees warmer as well. Now, we're tracking some light winds. However, those winds will be continuing to pick up throughout the day tomorrow. Calm winds in Minnesota. In areas like Grand Forks, you do have winds out of the south at 3 miles an hour, and even in Devil's Lake at 9. Now, for satellite and radar, we do have those clear skies. As of now, things will change as we are tracking some more Canadian wildfire smoke, mostly in northern Minnesota. But guys, I'll have your full forecast for that wildfire smoke and some rain showers coming up here in a bit.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shelby. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is on the presidential campaign trail in Iowa, where he's hoping his emphasis on small-town values will connect with voters.
Now, today he spoke with people in Newton. He joins a crowded Republican field of candidates who are crisscrossing the critical state as the caucuses are less than 6 months away. Burgum has already qualified for the first Republican presidential debate next month.
As most know, he is a two-term governor and wealthy former business owner who turned a small software company into a billion-dollar deal with Microsoft. Burgum has said he is running for president because America needs a new leader for a changing economy. And former President Donald Trump held a rally yesterday, his first one since new federal charges were filed against him.
Now, Trump has been defiant in the face of his growing legal troubles, and this weekend, when he and most of the other Republican candidates were on the same stage, we got a new look at how his rivals plan to handle his legal issues.
Go, gotta go!
Tonight, despite his mounting legal battles, former President Trump's diehard supporters are rallying around him.
What do you make of all the recent charges against him?
I don't believe him for a minute.
Trump is it. He's it. I was just telling everybody, it's God, then Trump.
His rally tonight here in Erie, Pennsylvania, coming just days after special counsel Jack Smith brought 3 new federal charges, alleging the former president tried to cover up the mishandling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago home by deleting surveillance video.
And I don't think they think that the tapes were even changed. These were my tapes that we gave to them.
On stage tonight, Mr. Trump defiant.
These are ridiculous indictments, and all they're doing is hoping for massive election interference. That's all they want to do.
Last night, Mr. Trump joined a dozen other GOP candidates at Iowa's Lincoln dinner. Only one, former Texas Congressman Will Hurd, took direct aim at the frontrunner.
Donald Trump is running to stay out of prison. And if we elect...
Mr. Trump dominating the crowded GOP field. His top rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, is struggling to gain traction in national polls. And he's declining to weigh in on Mr. Trump's legal problems.
I understand you want to talk about some of that stuff, and I get it. And, you know, if I were in your position, I'd probably be asking the same questions.
He's also your Republican opponent here, and he's the front runner.
And that's why I'm saying, and that's why I've said, If we make it about those issues, we're going to lose. If we make it about the vision for the future, we're going to win.
Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records to conceal reimbursement of hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. He's set to go to trial in Manhattan in March of next year.
And Trump's political action committee, Save America, has already spent $40 million this year on legal fees. The PAC raises most of its funds through small dollar donations from Trump supporters. Monday, Trump's group is expected to report to the Federal Election Commission that it spent $40.2 million on legal costs in the first half of the year.
That's more than double the $16 million the group spent on legal fees in all of 2022. Now, Trump's team argues that the considerable amount of money being spent on defending the former president and members of his inner circle is necessary as Trump's legal troubles mount.
The Biden administration is launching a website for its new student loan repayment plan. The new approach comes weeks after the Supreme Court rejected the president's effort to wipe out student debt for millions of borrowers. Students can access the website now during this trial period and apply for the new program. The website will be fully functional by next month. The new approach comes as student loan payments are set to resume in October after a very long pause because of the pandemic. The president's new plan could lower monthly loan payments for some borrowers and reduce the amount they pay back over the lifetime of their loans. Borrowers will only need to apply once and not yearly.
There's a new report out showing deaths from armed conflicts around the world has doubled over the last year. Now, according to the Wednesday report from Sweden's Uppsala University, global armed conflict killed at least 237,000 people in the year 2022. That's a 97% increase from a year prior. It's also the highest number since 1994, when hundreds of thousands were killed in the Rwandan genocide. Now, Ukraine and Ethiopia accounted for an estimated 180,000 of the world's conflict-related deaths last year. That report said the death toll from those countries is a low estimate because information from the conflicts is scarce and subjective to, quote, extensive propaganda.
In international news, a powerful bomb ripped through a rally of supporters of a political leader in northwestern Pakistan today. Initial reports suggested at least 40 people have been killed in the blast in a district that borders with Afghanistan.
Now, more than 150 were injured, and that death toll is expected to rise. Many of the wounded were taken to the city's main hospital, with some of the injuries being described as critical. A government administrator said many wounded were being airlifted to Pakistan's capital for better care.
Police said an initial investigation suggested a suicide bomber sneaked into the venue despite security provided by party volunteers. No one immediately claimed responsibility for the attack, but the Islamic State group operates across the border in Afghanistan.
A Black Lives Matter group in Circleville, Ohio is pushing for answers after a canine officer was released on a man with his hands up in the air. The protest was held Saturday outside of the Circleville Police Department. Body camera footage of the July 4th traffic stop has caused outrage among communities throughout the nation. Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers chased 23-year-old truck driver Jadarius Rose more than 20 miles across 3 counties.
Officer Ryan Speakman released the K-9 officer on Rose despite multiple troopers on the scene telling him not to. Some counter-protesters gathered as well, and Pickaway County Sheriff's deputies walked around the area, keeping the roadway blocked off. The incident has since resulted in the firing of Officer Speakman. Well, we've got some traffic updates for you regarding some construction projects taking place throughout the metro.
Beginning Monday, July 31st, 4th Street North will be closed to traffic between 4th Avenue North and 7th Avenue North. Now, that traffic will be detoured via 2nd Street North and Broadway. The closure will allow crews to mill and overlay the surface on 4th Street North. That road is expected to fully reopen on Thursday, August 3rd. Also beginning July 31st, westbound traffic on 40th Avenue South will be reduced to 1 lane. That's between 47th and 51st Street South. The lane closure will allow for road surface repairs to be fully completed. That road is expected to reopen on Tuesday, August 1st.
And beginning Thursday, August 3rd, 17th Avenue South will be closed to traffic between 25th Street South and 32nd Street South. Vehicles will be detoured to 13th Avenue South. The road closure will allow crews to mill and overlay the surface on 17th Avenue South, and the road is expected to fully reopen on Thursday, August 10th.
And don't forget, starting this Tuesday, the North Dakota seatbelt law becomes primary enforcement and goes fully into effect.
This means no other violation is required for a driver to get pulled over by law enforcement and issued a seatbelt citation. The new law will also require all vehicle occupants to wear a seatbelt or potentially face fines.
And later on Valley News Live at 10, the Minnesota Vikings are in full force in training camp. We'll have a sneak peek after the break.
And overnight tonight, those temperatures do dip down, however, only into those low 60s, and we do have those clear skies just for the first hours of the few nights, but those temperatures are going to increase into those 90s in the next coming days, but we'll have a decrease back into those 80s as we head throughout the rest and into the first weekend of August. But I'll have your full forecast coming up next.